Hey guys, welcome to Manifesting Better. I'm back with another video and another topic that needs to be addressed. I also have an Instagram account, the link for that is in the description box below. Coaching is also available, the link for that too is in the description box below.
So today I come with a very interesting topic. I think this would be a topic all of you would be interested in. How to manifest in a time crunch situation? Is it even possible? Should I manifest in a time crunch? And if it is possible, how to do it? So first thing I would say is that yes, manifesting in a time crunch is definitely possible, but there are a lot of things involved into it. So let's talk about it today. Let's start with first understanding what does a time crunch mean. When people in manifestation community say, I want to manifest in a time crunch, what does it actually mean? Manifesting in a time crunch means that there is a time situation involved where you need this thing by a certain date to happen, or else it won't be of any use. So basically, manifesting in a time crunch, there is a time constraint involved, after which there would be no point of having this manifestation. Understood, right? But the first and the most important thing that you need to ask yourself before getting into this video, or before even getting into the concept of manifesting in a time crunch, is what I have really a time crunch, or is this time crunch that the time crunch that I have created? I know a lot of you watching this video are coming to me from the perspective of manifesting a specific person. And while manifesting a specific person, you have either created a time crunch for yourself, which means in your mind you have created this timeline in which you want your manifestation. That's fine. Or you have either seen a situation or are in a situation where you would prefer to have it by a certain date. Let me just burst that bubble and tell you that's not a time crunch. Both of these are not a time crunch. They are things you would prefer having in a certain amount of time, but they are still not time bound, because when the timeline that you have created is a timeline that you have created, it's not created for you, it's something that you are deciding on your own. Or if there is a situation involved where there is something that is stopping you from your manifestation and you feel that I need it to happen by a certain amount of time, okay, that's still not a time crunch. That's something that you would prefer having over a certain amount of time. A few examples of this would be, let's say some people create a time crunch that I want my specific person to text before this date. Okay, no worries if you're creating a time crunch, but understand that it's not actually a time crunch. It's something you are creating based on your own interpretation of things. And if it doesn't work out, then you need to take into account that that's a time crunch that you are creating. Another set of situations can be that maybe the person that you are manifesting, or maybe the person that you love, is getting married to someone else. Again, this might be very hurtful to say. This is still not a time crunch situation. You prefer that they don't, you prefer that it doesn't happen. But here, the game plan is slightly different. You need to sit down and you need to weigh in your options. Maybe the first option that you have is that they do get married and I still keep manifesting them. The second option that you have is you tell yourself that okay, if they do get married, I stop manifesting them. And the third option that you have is you decide right now I don't want to manifest. Eventually, all of these three things are your options. So, yes, you can apply the same techniques of manifesting a specific person in a time crunch situation here, but this is still not a time crunch. This is something that you are creating for yourself. Now, I know that there comes a very important topic that people talk about. If I am the creator of my life, then why cannot I manifest on a time crunch? And I will be covering that by the end of this video. So please just watch it till then to get the real answer of this, because by then it will make sense. But if I'm telling you that these are all are not time crunches, then what is actually a time crunch? A time crunch situation is usually money related, or maybe there is a concert ticket that you want, or maybe there is a specific event on a certain date that you want to happen. Now, it can be severe. Maybe if I don't get money by tomorrow, I won't be able to pay rent. Or it can be something fun. So, everything doesn't have to be so grim. It can be something fun. It can be that maybe you want a certain concert ticket by a certain date because they're all filled out, and if it doesn't happen by tomorrow, then it won't have happened. So, how to go about manifesting in a time crunch? First, understand that manifesting in a time crunch can be a little bit hit and miss. So, if it always doesn't work out for you, don't sweat it. There are more things involved than your particular assumptions in that moment, your general state of being, your previous assumptions, the things that are going on, what is the 3D telling us. So, a lot of things are involved. So, yes, it can definitely work out, but if it doesn't work out, that doesn't mean it never will. It can later down the line. So the second step would be asking yourself, all right, what is my best result? So let's take an example that we want to manifest a concert ticket, and we have been looking for it and we don't find the ticket. So first it's about asking yourself, what's the best result? My best result would be someone giving me the concert ticket, or I receive the concert ticket somehow. Now I can receive it through the website, someone can mail it to me, someone can buy it for me and gift it to me, or like some scenario can happen that I receive the concert ticket, right? That's my best scenario. Now, to extend this, I will need to find out one technique that works for me based on this best scenario. It can be an affirmation, it can be a visual scene, or I can script it. But usually, when we are in time crunch situations, scripting isn't really helpful because it takes more time. So, I would rather recommend you stick to affirmations or visual scenes. Affirmations are my go to, but you can also stick with a visual scene. And when you are affirming or when you are visualizing, also familiarize with the body of how it would feel if this actually happens. So how would it feel if I just get the news that I received the concert ticket, right? The second thing that you do, which might be a little bit contradictory but is highly beneficial, especially in time crunch situations, this is something I have my clients do in normal situations as well when circumstances are a little bit difficult, because it helps decrease resistance. It's to ask yourself, what's the opposite thing that can happen, the worst thing that can happen if this thing doesn't work out? So let's say, taking the example of a concert ticket, the worst thing that can happen is I skip concert that day, right? But what if I skip concert that day? Maybe if I skip concert that day I can do XYZ, right? I can do something else. But how will I catch the concert? Maybe I can catch it later on YouTube. Maybe I can find a video of it somewhere. Maybe I can do the live stream on YouTube. Like something that is basically giving yourself this this way out, that if this thing doesn't work out, then what's the plan B? Now, why does it help to have a plan B in this situation? It helps to have a plan B in this situation because I know on how I would handle it. So it decreases the resistance that I am going to develop against it, as I am going to be focusing on what I want. Because if there is a time crunch involved, I am going to be focusing on what I want. And if I am focusing on what I want in a full way, of course my body will bring up resistance because there is a time factor involved. To decrease the resistance, I will tell myself that okay, that's true, that's fair. This is me having a conversation with my body, by the way. That's true, that's fair. But eventually, if it doesn't work out, I will do this. So it's basically like giving myself, my body, a way out, right? Now, if it's an extreme money situation, maybe you need to pay rent by the next week, or else you will be, you will have to leave your apartment. That is also a time crunch situation, and that can be something grim. In these situations, it's about asking, understanding what would I do if it doesn't work out. And no matter how worse the scenario comes out to be, dealing with it is the best way to move forward because it helps increase our chances to actually manifest this. So maybe I will ask from a friend, maybe I will find a different place to live, maybe I will have to do something else, like finding out the worst case scenario. And once, and you don't have to continuously do that, and once focusing on what I would do to decrease the resistance. Now, after we find that out, that is when we start focusing on the time crunch. So that is when we start focusing on us receiving what I want. Now, if you are going at it how I go at it with affirmations, you can have two different affirmations, whichever one suits you in that moment. The best way to go about it is to have one affirmation for your specific end and familiarize your body with that feeling. So let's say Let's say the concert tickets go down by tomorrow, right? I need an answer by tomorrow. And as it is going down, I have found out an affirmation. I have dealt with the resistance. The affirmation that I have found out is that, uh, isn't it wonderful that I have gotten the concert tickets XYZ, right? And I have a video on how to make your own affirmations, so I will link it down below. You can check it out. After that, I would also recommend having one general affirmation that suits you. So that general affirmation will act as a buffer when the main affirmation gives too much resistance. So the general affirmation can be, isn't it wonderful that I'm lucky? Why am I always lucky? I'm the luckiest person there. Like, it can be anything in relation to that. Or, why does everything always work out for me? Things always work out for me. I'm the person who everything always works out for. Like a general affirmation towards that which includes the factor of things working out for you. Now, this is where you can even go into it a little bit obsessively, because we want this thing to happen a little bit faster. This is not me saying that doing something obsessively means that you will get faster results. This is just me telling you that focusing on it from that side right now is okay, because the sustainability factor here is not there, right? That's a separate issue. So after I receive the concert tickets, I don't need to consistently keep receiving the concert tickets. So I don't need to work on that in a sustainable way. Just like if I want rent by tomorrow, or else I would have to leave my apartment, I need rent by tomorrow. That doesn't mean that me getting the rent would mean my money issues are solved. I will still have to work on the money issues, but that's a separate thing. I am focusing on this as a specific, special, and a different case and a different manifestation, right? So this is where, if even affirming a little bit extra is okay, when once you keep doing that, if extra resistance comes, then you can pick this other affirmation, the general one, that, oh, why does always everything work out for me? Isn't it wonderful that I'm lucky? Like any affirmation that you want to. These are questions that I'm doing because they help me in that moment, but you can even go with normal affirmations. From here, you need to understand that when you are starting to do this and resistance is started to come, I would recommend that in the meantime, so for example, my result has to come tomorrow for the concert tickets, right? Or my exam has to come, like the results of my exam, or the rent is due by tomorrow, and I have done everything I can and I'm now waiting for it to happen. I would recommend move around and keep yourself occupied to not think about the resistance to an extreme and a deep level. So this is where you can plan out your day in a manner where you don't have time to sit there and think about your manifestation. If it's going on in the back of your mind, that's fine, but moving around will help your body to not be too obsessed with receiving it, which is what we essentially want. This is the way to actually move forward manifesting in a time crunch. Just know that if it doesn't work out by that time, that's okay. You still have your plan B, and getting into the plan B, you can still manifest moving forward. So if something doesn't work out, that doesn't mean that it never will work out. It just means that it hasn't worked out yet. Now, coming to the thing that I said I will discuss at the end of the video, that's the topic that if I am a master manifester, why cannot I put time crunches and timelines on things? You can, that's fine. But in specific person situations, I honestly am telling you, because I know where you are coming from. More often than not, it's a way of escapism. More often than not, the state of being behind it is a state of urgency and a state of lack. More often than not, where you are coming from is you need to see some evidence to manifest in order to believe in yourself and in the journey, and you need that validation from the physical world to feel good about yourself. So that is where this loud insecurity is coming in, that if I'm a master manifestor, then I wouldn't need to wait. Okay, you wouldn't, but are you not coming from a place of waiting, or is this your way to validate your own insecurities and validate this need to see movement in order to feel special and in order to feel that things are working out for me? So because you are coming from that place, instead of the thing manifesting, that state of being keeps manifesting. Here, that's your answer. I really intend that you get the message that I'm trying to spread from this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.
Click the like button if you liked the video. Subscribe and turn the notifications on for more such content. Comment down your video suggestions, and I will see you guys in the next one.